everyone, today I am going to be working with the 2020 Freckled Fawn Christmas Kit. This particular one I am using the Pocket Kit and the TN Kit. So these are the TN papers that I am going to predominantly use for making my little mini album. I'm just sifting through here to find some papers that I want to use for my internal pages and then also for my album cover. So I have decided to go with this Christmassy kind of holly berry pattern paper for the outside cover. And then I've chosen some internal papers, some with the 24 and the 25 to really highlight those days of December. And then a couple of easy patterns to mix in. Okay, so I have got 5 internal pages and then one piece from the collection with this hollyberry that I said I was going to use for my cover. So now I am going to pull out my paper scorer here, and I am going to score it down the middle, leaving a 3/4 inches so that I will have plenty of room to put signatures into my little mini album. I am just measuring out the perfect size of the TN papers in the Freckled Fawn kits, and I'm going to measure out to the center, and then I am going to score to leave my 3/4 of an inch spine. So the perfect place to score on the Freckled Fawn TN papers is going to be at the 4 1/12 mark and the 4 5/12 mark. So that's going to leave that basically 3/4 of an inch to where you can stitch in your 4 signatures. So now you can see that I have lined those measurements up on my scoring board here, and I am just scoring so that my album will have a perfect fold spine down the middle there. So you can see that I left a nice 3/4 inch, almost a little over 3/4 inch, but just make sure that it's even, however thick you need it to be. But this is how thick I chose mine. It's perfect for 4 signatures to go in the middle. So now I am going to pull out my ruler again, and I'm just going to measure the front cover here to make sure that I know exactly what size I am cutting all of my internal signatures to. It looks like it is 3 3/4 by 4, so just shy of a perfect square. So what I am going to do is double that measurement so that I get the perfect length. So my album is 4 inches tall, and to the spine, to the edge of the cover, it is 3 3/4. So I'm going to double that and take 3 3/4 times 2 so that I know exactly how long each of my internal signatures should be. That should add up to 7.5 inches. So you're going to take your internal pages. You should have 4 of them. And we are going to trim off that last little bit so that each of our TN papers are 7.5 inches long. Okay, I am just cutting my last piece here to the 7.5 inch length, and that makes all 4 of my signatures that are going to go on the inside. The next step is to line them up inside my little album cover here. And I noticed that they are a little long, so I've gone in on a couple pieces and I've just cut off just about, I'd say about 1/8 of an inch on any ones that kind of stick out over the edge. If you've trimmed appropriately, you really shouldn't have any that are too long, but just in case, make sure that they don't peek out of the album cover too far. The next thing I'm pulling out is my hole punch tool here. And then I've got a bookbinding tool here that I just decide I don't really need, but if you have one, it'll be great for lining up where you're going to be punching the holes. I am going to do 2 holes for every signature. So I have 4 signatures on the inside, so I'm going to punch 4 equal lines or 4 equal holes on the top and 4 equal holes near the bottom. You'll just align that center so that you have a nice place for those dots near the top and the dots near the bottom. So I'm just taking my punch hole here And I am just going to push in about, it's about 1/4 of an inch from the top on both the top and the bottom here. Then I'm just going to scoot it over, making equal room for 4 different holes, top and bottom. Okay, now that I've got my 4 holes on the top and the bottom, I can now start stitching in my signatures. So I am going to pull out some coordinating baker's twine. I have gone with this red and white striped twine that matches my cover perfectly. And I have 2 kinds here, but I think I'm going to go with the lighter colored. You can choose any color you want depending on what cover paper you chose. Next thing I'm going to pull out is my needle to pull my baker's twine through, but I'm just kind of thinking it through in my head here. I hadn't quite decided how I was going to stitch it in, but I'm going to use my embroidery thread needle, so I'm just going to go sift through and look for that really quick. So my first page, I am going to line it up with the first set of holes, and I am going to push my thread through and line it up after I've measured out some holes in my paper. Make sure that you line up the internal pages with your cover too, and make sure that it stays nice and straight. So to get those holes to go right through to my internal page, I'm just going to put them over a felt backing here so that I have something to poke into, and that way I've got a set of matching holes through my internal page. So now I'm going to thread that baker's twine through both of my coordinating holes, and you'll make sure that that goes right down the middle of your internal page. And then when it comes back through the outside of the cover, all you're going to do is tie it off. Now, after you finish that first one, it's kind of easy to figure out what to do with the second, third, and fourth signature inside your book. So just repeat the process, lining up each internal page with your cover so that you get a nice, even looking album. I decided to go with 2 knots when I finished mine out. So I had enough string of the slack to where I could tie in 2 signatures before I tied off into a bow. So it's 2 and 2, and after you finish 2, I tied a bow onto the spine. So that is the main construction of the album. Just kind of putting a little finesse on this bow on the outside, making sure it's nice and secure. And then you've got this great little album that you can start filling with all kinds of goodies. So I hope this was an easy tutorial to follow. If you have any questions about any of the supplies that I used, or if you want to know anything about the new kits that have come to the Freckled Fawn shop, feel free to ask. If anything wasn't clear, I'm always here in the comment section if you have any questions. And thanks so much for watching today. I really hope you guys are inspired to make your own little albums out of the tea and papers that come with the Freckled Fawn kits. They are some of my favorites, and the way this album turned out made me so giddy, and I could not wait to share the outcome with you. Feel free to check out the next video using this album. I have gone about adding some photos and dimensions in preparation for December Daily. I will be sure to put a link for that video right after this. Thanks so much, guys.